It was the year 1968, and the Vietnam War was at its cruelest peak. A small team from the U.S. Army Special Forces, sent on a secret reconnaissance mission deep inside the jungle, suddenly found itself trapped in a massive enemy base. The message coming over their radio was brief and desperate. "We are surrounded, under heavy fire. We don't have much time." The Army team knew that ground reinforcement was impossible. The jungle was so thick that any attempt to cut a path from the ground would be suicide. Their only hope lay in the sky. In the aviation unit, Major James "Jim" Russell, an experienced helicopter pilot, heard the distress call. Even he had never faced such a high-risk situation. The enemy base was so secure that any rescue helicopter attempting to land would face certain destruction. Major Russell was ordered not to attempt the rescue. The risk was deemed too high. But Russell, a true soldier, couldn't leave his fellow countrymen to die. He made a courageous decision to disregard the order. He gathered his three-man crew. They prepped their UH-1 Huey helicopter for war. Russell knew the Huey needed more firepower to survive the intense enemy barrage. He requested his ground crew to quickly add extra rocket pods, machine guns, and steel plates, effectively turning his aircraft into a makeshift gunship. The evening was closing in, and extracting the trapped soldiers before dark was crucial. Major Russell took off alone, without any additional air cover. The moment his Huey helicopter reached the enemy base, a vicious cycle of fire erupted. Bullets coming from the ground hammered the helicopter's metal, sounding like a furious blacksmith. Russell displayed his extraordinary piloting skills. He jerked the helicopter up and down, left and right, in a dizzying dance to evade the enemy fire. His mission wasn't just rescue. He also had to suppress the enemy's relentless barrage. His crew continuously fired the machine guns, providing cover for the stranded Army soldiers. The first attempt failed. The enemy fire was so heavy that the helicopter sustained severe damage. Russell was forced to turn back, but he radioed a promise. "I will return." Russell brought his damaged helicopter back to base. It was refueled, and broken hydraulic pipes were temporarily patched up. He ignored the objections of the base commander and prepared for a second attempt. This time, he coordinated in code with his trapped Army comrades. He deliberately landed the Huey in the most dangerous, exposed part of the enemy base. A move no one expected, a direct flight into the jaws of death. The moment the helicopter touched the ground, enemy fire intensified even further. This brief window allowed the stranded Army soldiers to make a desperate dash. Russell kept his engine running. In seconds, the Army men leaped inside. As Russell lifted the helicopter, he realized the tail rotor had been severely damaged by gunfire. The Huey was on the brink of becoming completely uncontrollable. Only Russell's exceptional piloting skill and sheer physical strength allowed him to keep the crippled helicopter stable. Major Russell nursed the severely damaged Huey back to base. The stranded Army Special Forces men were safe. When they landed, the helicopter's body was riddled with bullet holes. It looked like a sieve. Major James Russell's single-handed effort solidified the unbreakable bond between the Army and the Air Force. For this extraordinary bravery, defiance of orders, and unwavering loyalty to his comrades, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. This story stands as one of the most daring aerial rescues of the Vietnam War. It teaches us that when individual courage takes flight, no order and no threat can stop it. This is an eternal saga for both the Army and aviation.